everyone, Christy Calcagno here, and we are just going to recap exactly what happened after lunch in the State versus Rick Chow trial. A lot happened after lunch, some of the most emotional and important testimony that we have seen so far. So this afternoon, prosecutors really shifted the focus on two things. It was their surveillance video from inside the convenience store and the forensic evidence. So first, jurors heard from a firearms expert, Amanda Metz, who testified about the weapons in this case, including a Glock 45 and the Taurus 9mm. One of the things that stood out there was her testimony about the flashlight and laser combination on a gun. She said that kind of setup is common and something you can even buy online, which is very notable because earlier testimony had suggested that lasers were less common. The biggest part of the afternoon was definitely when jurors got to see the convenience store video and those moments all right before that chase. That video showed Cyrus inside the store at the cooler and then being questioned before he left. Jurors also heard him say, quote, "I don't have no water in my pocket." Investigators walking through the footage piece by piece, and the state's point seemed to be that this entire confrontation started over suspected stolen water. I had the opportunity to talk to legal expert Lacey Thompson about all of that and, of course, the emotion in this case.
You know, this is the last minutes of his life, and really like 2 minutes of someone's life led to this chase. And just seeing it in that perspective was pretty powerful. Like when they showed different clips, you know, and we saw that they zoom in with audio, without audio. But I think the most impactful for me, that got me emotional, was when they played it all together, streamed together, 2.5 minutes.
And that was one of the biggest takeaways from the afternoon. Prosecutors using that video to argue not only did Cyrus not steal any water, but also that there was surveillance video and tools available to identify him or investigate further, all without chasing him.
Investigator Jordan, do you think it would be, you would have some tools to work with if you had gotten a call that this guy, this boy right here, had stolen? Do you think you would have some tools to help identify him?
Yes.
And investigate whether or not he had stolen water?
Yes.
Do you feel confident law enforcement could have handled this?
Absolutely.
Then defense got their turn and they pushed back hard. Defense attorney Sean Kent showing jurors a social media photo they say Cyrus posted the night before the shooting. The defense says that photo shows him holding that Taurus pistol while wearing the same red sweatshirt that he had on the day that he died. The defense also emphasizing that Cyrus had no money on him and also focused on the fact that a 14-year-old carrying a gun would be illegal. Now, the day ended with some major forensic testimony we had from Dr. Amy Dorso, even prosecutor Dale Scott using a red marker on his own shirt so Dr. Dorso can go ahead and demonstrate the bullet's path. The state used that testimony to argue that the trajectory of that bullet was not consistent with someone simply turning and running away. But by the end of the afternoon there, jurors were then left with two competing narratives. We had the defense trying to show that Cyrus was armed and dangerous, and the prosecution was then showing or trying to show that this started over suspected shoplifting and then escalated into a shooting that never had to happen. Again, this is day 2, very emotional testimony that we had here so far. Court will then resume at 9:30, and be sure to follow us as we continue to follow this case.